Hello and welcome to another episode of Unmasking Mum the podcast with me, your host, Anna Bonasera. If you're new here, thank you so much for joining. This is part 3, so you can totally do this, but if you want to go back and listen to the others, watch the other ones afterwards, go and do it. We are doing an executive function quiz that is in a workbook that I have created. And we are basically going through and saying what ones we struggle with. And then the idea is at the end, we assess what's our worst one, what needs the most help, and what we're going to focus on and change going forward to help ourselves. So all you have to do is answer yes or no. Obviously, you want to make a kind of note of these. And then at the end, you can total them all up and you can see out of 10 which one is your worst. There'll be some that you're better at, some that you struggle more with, some you might not struggle with at all, but that's the idea. So today we are covering self-monitoring and time management. All right. So, and afterwards, what I'll do is I will read some of the tips because there are also some tips on the next kind of couple of pages afterwards. And then you can really understand what part of your brains you're really struggling with. I always say, it's mad that they don't teach us this at school. I didn't know what executive functions were until I learned about ADHD and how dysfunctional my brain actually is. So if you're ready, let's go. Grab a pen or write on your notes, whatever. Just make sure you keep count of your yeses and your nos. Or just your yeses, really. Okay, so self-monitoring. I don't realise how much time has passed when I'm doing something. We talked about time earlier on. I literally have no concept of how time feels and find it really weird that people actually know how time passes by. Very strange. On to the next. I only notice mistakes after it's too late. That's me. I struggle to tell if I'm on track or falling behind. I think that's a mixed one for me. Or maybe actually because I always feel like I'm behind. So that's probably it, isn't it? Like when you always think you're behind, but actually most of the time you're not. And it's just all in your head. Probably. I don't always notice how my behaviour comes across to others. All of the time. Expectancy of other people to do things how I think they should be done in my brain is something I've really become aware of recently. Like when I want my kids or my husband to do something, but it's not done how I would do it. Like I was talking about this, I think it was last week on the podcast, is there is no one right way. There is only the right way to you or to the other person. And if they're not doing it your way, sometimes I really struggle with that, if that makes sense. So I can then snap and be rude and not really realise how my tone of voice is coming across or how my inability to lose control over certain things upsets people because I'm just correcting what they've done and it should just be good enough for them to have done it. But my brain doesn't clock that. So that's something I really work. I get so focused on something that I lose awareness of everything else. I literally did this yesterday. Had an idea for something I'm doing. So I was creating on Canva, doing some pretty visual stuff that may or may not actually become a real thing in real life. Who knows? And I didn't realize the time. It was past dinner time. And then we had massive meltdowns because my 3-year-old was really tired, and then she didn't want to eat anywhere but the living room, and we were trying to hold that boundary, and that was just an hour of screaming. Yeah, that was not fun, and that was definitely something that I could have corrected myself if I'd done dinner on time and not got lost in doing this thing. So yeah, oops. Forget to check my work or review what I've done. Yes, I do, but sometimes I think maybe it's not a forgetful thing, and I can't be bothered. I'm not I can't bother, but I'm so bored of this piece of work. I just want it done and I don't want to see it again. And then I go back and read it and I'm like, wish I'd read it and drafted it. I find it hard to reflect on what worked versus what didn't. Now, I think I was rubbish at this, but this is something I am exceptionally good at, almost too much, obsessively reflecting these days. But I think that's come with this journey of self-discovery. And I now reflect on everything. And it's almost too much obsessive compulsive. And it will keep me up at night. Literally, I'm not saying that lightly. It is an obsessive behavior I have now of reflecting on everything, whether it's from a parenting perspective, from how I speak to people, from what I do within my business. So it is something I really do now, but I definitely struggled with previously. Like the whole reflecting on how my behavior and my perfectionism and my right way with the kids and with my husband, definitely something I do now. I don't notice patterns in my behavior until someone points them out. Yeah. 100%. It wasn't until this kind of behavior that I was just talking about was pointed out by my husband that I was like, oh, actually, yeah, I am in the wrong. It's hard to admit. But yeah, it's definitely something that I struggle to see within myself unless someone's pointed it out, first of all. But I think it's good as well, although it like hurts at the time. It's really good that other people can point it out to you, like people who are close to you, because then you can learn to reflect on it and you can learn to change and be different. So I definitely think it's a good thing that people do this. I struggle to adjust my approach even when something isn't working. I was going to say I'm quite flexible in terms of this, but there are definitely times when I'm doing something again and again and again. I'm like, right, it's going to work this time. It's going to work this time. It's going to work this time. And it's not. And it's not that I don't want to try another way. I always think my brain can't see another route unless someone else is there to show me what to do. So I do think that this is something I struggle with. I feel surprised when things take longer than expected. Yes. 100%. Yes. I used to think, is something I've become aware of recently, is I used to think that everywhere I drive takes 15 minutes. So I would always leave 15 minutes to get there. Or even if I did look it up, I would just take into account the journey. Like if my map said it takes 30 minutes, I would just leave with 30 minutes to go. Like this drive, my husband crazy because he grew up in a military family. So they were very like, everything. You know, you say when you're going to leave at 10 o'clock, you're leaving at 10 o'clock. Enter the chaotic wife. So yeah, that is 100% a bit of me. I now try and add buffer time. So because I'm aware and I've reflected on this, that it doesn't take 15 minutes. And then I wonder why I'm so stressed when I get there late. And I'm like, anxiety overload. So yeah, buffer time. Right, time management assessment. That was the last one. So give you a total out of 10 for self-monitoring. And then we're moving on to time management. I underestimate how long things will take. We just talked about this. So yeah, that's a big fat yes for me. I run late, even when I try not to. Always late. Always. Even sometimes when I'm adding in my buffer time. I leave things until the last minute. The adrenaline keeps you going, doesn't it? The pressure to get it done, and it just causes you severe stress and all the things that come with it. I struggle to prioritize what actually matters. I think the only prioritization I really have is when things have got time limits. If something's due in like the next day or the next week, that's the only way I prioritize things. So out of urgency, I guess there are probably other ways of prioritizing things. I can't tell though. I feel like there's enough time. Always enough time. I forget about tasks until I overfill my day and then feel overwhelmed. Yes, I really have tried to be better at this, at like not doing too many things. Like if I've got more than 3 things on in a day, even 3 things, like saying that feels overwhelming. So I really try not to. I struggle to stick to schedules or plans. Like I really feel the benefits when I stick to a schedule or have a plan. But my brain really struggles. Like I do loose schedules these days and that does work. It's more routines than a schedule. So I do things routinely, but I don't have do this because it just doesn't work, or it'll work for a little bit and then it won't. And I feel like I do give myself a bit of grace these days of like, if I do try a schedule and it doesn't work, I'm like, okay, it's just my brain. Like it works for a bit and then it goes off. It is what it is. I get distracted and lose chunks of time. Time just disappears all the time. And the last one, I find it hard to break tasks into realistic time blocks. Yeah, I literally have no sense of time of how long things will take. And I'll either give myself far too much time, which then means I end up doing other things in there and then getting derailed from the plan, or not enough time and then I don't get everything I want done. If I'm on a productive day and I've actually started, that is. So that's it. Total it up. If you've done all of them, I'm really interested to know which one did you score the highest. I do feel like as well, you're probably going to score high on all of them or a lot of them. And then it's hard to pick which one it is that you want to focus on. So what I would say is go with the easy one first. It's the complete opposite advice that most people will give you. You've probably heard the book, like eat the frog first, like do the hard thing first. That is literally the worst advice that we could give ADHDers, because we will just sit there and stare at it until our time is gone, and then we'll wallow in self-pity and guilt and shame because we didn't get it done. So do the easiest thing first. Look at them and think, what could I easily do to help myself with these, and do the easy bit first so that you've accomplished something and you feel good about yourself, because we do better things when we feel good about ourselves, and when we feel shit about ourselves, we do worse. Okay, so got some tips. I'm not going to read them all out, but I'm going to do a couple. And then if you want to get the book, you can download. You can buy a copy on Amazon straight away of Discover Your ADHD, or you can go via the link in whatever the caption thingy bob for the podcast, and you can get a copy from Amazon too, but you sign up to email list and you get a few extra goodies along the way, just so that I can stay in touch and prod and poke you and make sure you're actually doing things. So first tip we're going to talk about for self-monitoring is setting yourself progress cues. So like, how are you doing? Like, how's it going? Like sticky notes or tick lists, like stuff that actually is visual in your face that you can refer back to. And I actually saw someone do this really cool trick where they had different coloured Post-it notes for each week. So like green for week 1, we'll just call it week 1, pink, then blue, and then they put them like around their desk. And they know that the green ones have been, like if they're on like week 3, the green ones have been there really long. So they really need to get done because they've been there for a long time. And then they have like one of those, at like restaurants, you get like, ticket kind of like punches, like it's like a long spike, and like you put all the tickets, and then it's like she's got a really colourful like rainbow of Post-it notes. And I just thought it was a really nice visual thing, like a visual to-do list, physical thing that we might get a bit of dopamine out of and might be worth trying. This is a really important one, especially if you don't do any reflection right now. Like, let's not think too deep about it. Reflection doesn't need to be like a deep dive into like your childhood trauma or whatever. Just reflect quickly rather than deeply. So instead of being like digging deep and why do I do these things, just literally a quick thought, like what worked, what didn't, what could you do differently next time? Really simple, really quick, not digging into any trauma. That's for another day with a therapist. Okay, and the last for our series of executive functioning is time management. Tips for time management. So the first one we're going to talk about is planning your day around your energy. So I have done this today. I'm working in the summer holidays. I'm not working loads. I'm working bits when I have fewer children. I never have 0 children. When I have 5 kids, I sometimes have 1, sometimes have 2, sometimes have 3. So I have 2 currently in the house, and my husband's actually off. So I'm doing this right now. And I was about to go out with one of the kids and do the food shop. And then I was like going to work when I got home. And I was like, no, I know I will get home and I will not want to do it. So I decided that I was going to come up here, do this, get this out of the way and done. So it is done. And not come home, and then I'll be knackered because we got home from holiday yesterday as well, and then I'll be like, oh, I've got to do my podcast, and I have to do it in a less energy state, and it just not turn out as good. So I did plan my day around my energy there. But also really look, if you're a woman, which most people are listening, hey to my very female listeners, nice to have you. Planning your month around your cycle. I really need to look into this more. I don't do it much, but I do notice when my energy is different around my cycle. So it's definitely something I want to look more into, but it just feels like a bit of a headache to actually do. And another routine and schedule that I'm probably not going to stick to. Now, we've already talked about buffer time, so I'm not going to do that for you. When you've got like a huge to-do list though, let's talk about that. Like having a huge to-do list and feeling like you've got so much to do and not enough time to do it all day. Like just picking 3 like non-negotiables, 3 must-dos every single day. Not every single day. You don't have to do it every single day. But the day when you're productive and you want to do stuff and you're looking at your to-do list, just pick 3. Just like highlight 3 that you are definitely going to get done. And then once you've got them done, it just feels so much better to actually get, like you've actually accomplished something. So pick 3 and see how you feel afterwards. And that's it. That is part 3 of our executive functioning quiz. If you haven't done the rest, go do the other 2 parts, and let me know, which one are you going to focus on? Are you going to focus on one, or maybe you're going to focus on 2 different ones and just pick 2 tips you're going to do from each? Like, do not overload yourself. I cannot say this enough. Less is more. Less is more. Thank you so much for being here. I really enjoyed this, and it's been really helpful to have something to come on and record when my inspiration is low from being with the kids 24/7 in the summer holidays. I'm going to take a break at some point. I'm probably going to try and record next week and then have the last week off, because I have literally 0 childcare the last week. So I've got all 5 kids for pretty much the next 2 weeks. So yeah, it's going to be full on. So I'm probably going to take a break and just take that pressure off me. But I'm just, really thankful for you being here. Please do follow. If you're listening and you don't follow, please do. It really helps. Share with your friends and tag a friend in socials or send it to them an email, whatever it is you do. Please do share, because the more people we have listening, the more we can help people not feel like they are the only ones who feel like this. Right, I'm off. See you soon. Take care. Hope you are enjoying the sunshine and the holidays and surviving. See you next time. Bye.